I'm Gabriel Morency for Sports Interaction. There'll be no jokes or monologue this evening because my feet hurt. And as my favorite Simpsons character once said, I thought they were due when asked why he put everything he owned on the Washington Generals. They were using a freaking ladder after all. Let's start with some college football. We got a stacked weekend. We got boxing. We got UFC. We got college football. We got CFL football. We got NFL football. We got NBA basketball. We got NCAA basketball. We've got it all, and everything must go. Everything must go. Let's start with some college football. Boise State, no doubt, paid attention to what the Nevada Wolfpack did against the Idaho Vandals. This is a nasty, bitter in-state rivalry here. Yeah, I know. Idaho and Boise State. Boise State looked down on Idaho. They don't want to go play there anymore, and they're probably going to lay a serious beatdown. I'm going to be taking a look at the over in this football game. Now, all this talk about playoffs. Oh, let's talk about playoffs. I'm sick of it. You want a playoff? Watch Oregon play Cal. You want a playoff? Watch Auburn, Alabama. That's your playoff. That's what makes college football so good, that every game counts. All these people kick back that don't even watch the games all year long want to see TCU. They want to see TCU play Oregon because they watch the damn highlights. Screw you. Watch the games every week. Screw you and the playoffs. The playoffs go on every week. And I'll tell you what, the Oregon Ducks are aware of this. Oregon needs to lay a beat down. Everyone needs to lay a beat down. This is like American Idol, USA pageant, and I don't know what's going on the casting couch here, but well, we know what's going on. $180,000 cash allegedly to Cam Newton. And speaking of which, back off Cam Newton. Next thing you know, you're gonna tell us that he actually killed OJ's wife. It wasn't OJ. It was Cam Newton. And he was 1 year old, but that doesn't matter. It was him. He's a bad kid. Back off. Everyone takes money. Maybe if you just paid the kids, this wouldn't be a problem. I think Auburn is going to come to play. Look for a ton of points to be scored in the Auburn-Georgia game. I'm going to be taking a lot of overs this weekend. The Oregon Ducks and Cal are insane. Now, these guys are schizophrenic. Away from Berkeley, they're terrible. When you put them back home in Northern California, they're actually a solid and prolific football team. I love the over in that football game. Now, as long as we're talking about football and craziness, how about the CFL? Now, the BC Lions probably frustrated me more than any team in any league this year. Like, they lost by 12 in overtime. How do you do that? And I had a sizable play on that football game. I don't know how they do it. Travis Lulay is not very good. Their defense isn't very good. They take dumb penalties, but they've got a great kickoff returner. And you know what they also have? They've got the heart of a lion. This is a football team that's won 7 of the last 10 football games. And truth be told, they actually could have run the table down the stretch, as crazy as that sounds. Saskatchewan are flaky. Saskatchewan's living on hype and reputation from the past couple of years. They're actually not as good. And even if they win this football game, I don't think they're going to win by 5. I think it's going to be a close football game. Now, this is the CFL and anything can happen. Saskatchewan can absolutely maul the BC Lions, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats can drill the Toronto Argonauts. Hard for me to sit here and make a legitimate argument and tell you why I think the Toronto Argonauts are going to be able to beat Hamilton. They're probably not going to be able to. But the fact of the matter is, the Argonauts just find a way. They grind it out. They got the CFL's toughest player in Corey Boyd. You know what? He was slowed down a couple of times by the Hamilton Tiger Cats this year. Toronto was unable to beat Hamilton. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this one comes down to the wire as well. I'll be taking both the underdogs in the CFL playoffs. And I'll tell you what, I think the Montreal Alouettes might be vulnerable in a couple of weeks' time. Now, speaking of vulnerable, is Nate Marquardt vulnerable? I don't think so. We've got the UFC. They're going to Germany, and it's a good thing it's a free card because I certainly don't want to pay $54 on it. I'd rather bet my money on the fights and actually pay to watch them. But that's another story. We're going to be taking a look at Nate Marquardt. I don't like the number, but I will be parlaying Nate with a couple of other fighters. Interesting fight for Krzysztof Szynski and Goran Relic. I'm going to be taking a look at the Croat in this fight. Goran Relic had a bright future before he had some back problems. I think he's got through the ring rust right now, and I just don't know if Krzysztof has enough to slow him down. Now, the winner of Nate Marquardt and Okami is going to get the winner of Anderson Silva and Vitor Belfort. So it actually is an important fight. Probably not the most exciting playing card, but after all, it is free. And it's a good thing that it's in the afternoon, because as much as I love the UFC and mixed martial arts, I'm looking forward to this Pacquiao-Margarito fight. I've fallen for the hype now. I thought Kevin Garnett, hit an all-time low point when he told Charlie Villanueva that he looked like a cancer patient. But Margarito and his camp mocking Freddie Roach for having Parkinson's disease, yeah, that's as Carlito would say, that's not cool. That's just not cool for anybody. And I think all this talk about Manny Pacquiao not being in shape and not being prepared for this fight and singing in a political career, I think it's all hype just to sell the fight because no one really cared about it. And you know what? I fell for the hype. Margarito has a puncher's chance. I don't think it's going to happen. Take a look at the more betting. Click the more betting right above the odds for this fight. Take a look at the more betting, and I'm going to be taking a look at Manny Pacquiao to win by decision at plus 333. That's a pretty good value with a fighter that's like a 5 or 6 to 1 favorite. Now let's hit the National Football League. All kinds of crazy stuff going on. The Minnesota Vikings hate their coach, but they're not dead yet. The Cleveland Browns are actually good. Cleveland host the New York Jets. Can Cleveland beat the New England Patriots and the New York Jets on back-to-back weeks? I don't think they can, but I think it's going to be a close game. But I want to focus in on this Buffalo Bill football team. Now, the Buffalo Bills are pretty much a laughing stock of the National Football League. They haven't won a game. But the bottom line is, if you bet on the Buffalo Bills and the point spread on a weekly basis, you're only down 1 unit. They're 3-4-1 against the spread, and it's rare that you see a team that is 0-8. 0-8, laying 2.5, 3 points. But that's exactly what we have here. The Detroit Lions haven't won a road game since 2007, 24 consecutive road game losses. Yes, they got screwed against the Chicago Bears, but this is it. Please let me know. Listen, Huey Lewis, the Buffalo Bills are winning this football game. Buffalo gets it done. I say this every week, but this is it, people. The Buffalo Bills are winning this week, and as crazy as it sounds, if you're in one of those crazy survivor pools or something like that, pull the trigger, because I guarantee you nobody else is going to be taking the Buffalo Bills. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be taking the New England Patriots in the situation that they're in. But it's not often that you get Tom Brady and Bill Belichick getting 4.5 points. I don't care if they're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't forget the Steelers coming off a short week, and we saw what a short week can do to both Baltimore and Atlanta. Both teams look gassed on that Thursday night affair. I think I'll be taking a shot with the New England Patriots, and I'm going to be definitely taking a look at the over of that football game as well. The Dallas Cowboys are playing with a new coach, but you know what? Who cares? I'm Gabriel Morency for Sports Interaction. May the winners be yours.